Such a rich history between Nebraska and Miami. The Orange Bowls of the 80s and 90s immediately stand out. Two programs that have combined for 10 national titles. They renew that rivalry Saturday in South Florida in an important non-conference game for two teams looking to make an early statement. The head coach of the Huskers, Mike Riley, kind enough to join us now from our studio in Lincoln to talk about this one a little bit. And, Coach, what about the history in this series? Is that something that you address at all with your players? Do you believe in discussing that and putting it in context for them before the game?
Yeah, we've talked about that, and it's been pretty easy to basically find out how the people and the players feel about this history. You know, some of it goes back a little ways, but I was pleasantly surprised to hear that our players pretty much knew about all of that, and those of us that have been in football or football fans for a while certainly understand the history here. So it is one of those things that it was kind of neat that there was a couple of games set up to play based on that previous history between the two teams. So it is a big game for us at this point, big game for them, I'm sure, and a lot of fans who have been fans for a while love it.
How important was it for your program to get a win last week heading into this game after the disappointment of the opener?
It was really big. It was good to win, and I'm glad about how we played, but I also really appreciated the approach all week by the team and coaching staff. I think that we really had a good week of practice. It was a bitterly disappointing loss to BYU. I think it triggered a good reaction, which was go back to work reaction by our team, and we did things better in the second game. We cut down our penalties, we ran the ball better, we played better run defense. It was just a better football game by us, and so if we can get that week-to-week improvement like that, it will be good for the Huskers.
You really featured Terrell Newby in that game. Do you see him as kind of a clear-cut lead back at this point for you?
He has been our first string back, and we had a rotation set in the first game and felt like after we evaluated it that maybe we should go with him more and give him a chance to get a rhythm running the football in the game. I think the other guys are good players, and they deserve that rotation when we want to put them in, but that was our thought process with Newby, and that's I think it was good for our team, good for him, and hopefully something we can continue with.
How do you assess Tommy Armstrong through two games, Coach?
I think Tommy has played two solid football games back to back. Tommy is a competitor. He is tremendously engaged. He's works hard in his preparation, has made a lot of good plays, and we expect continued growth there with Tommy because of his talent and his work ethic.
Certainly in my watching of the first two games, the secondary kind of stands out as maybe being a potential problem area for you guys. What are you looking at as you assess that group and try to make some corrections going forward?
Well, you know, I think that if you play good run defense, you're going to see more balls, and at some point you're going to have to be able to play all different kinds of passes. You want to get in good situations where you force the other team to pass the ball more. But I think the one thing that we have done that we have to change is we've just given up too many big plays in the passing game. So you're talking about looking at it schematically of what we might want to change or what we might want to call as a different call in a different situation, or the curveballs of calls that you can make. And then, of course, we got to help players with technique. And so in those areas, that's where we have to grow. We just have to be sounder against a lot of big plays down the field.
Give us a thumbnail assessment of this game, Coach. What's the biggest challenge that Miami poses?
Well, Miami is a team that possesses a lot of talent, athletic ability and speed. They feature two very good running backs. They have an experienced quarterback. Our players have a great respect for the quarterback. He had a big day last year against us, and so they know what he is capable of. I think big factor in the game is what we just kind of talked about, is big play prevention and big play making for us. So, you know, teams nowadays move the ball pretty effectively. Big plays are a big part of what happens on scoring drives. That's always a big factor in what's going to happen in a game, and I think it will be particularly big against Miami.
The head coach of the Cornhuskers, Mike Riley. Coach, thanks again for your time and best of luck this weekend.
Thank you, Dave.